Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con, or coming to you with some more 1v1 Company of Heroes 2 action. The map itself is Halbe. For anybody out there for German that speaks, that means half. And that sentence made absolutely no sense unless you speak English, so forgive me if it didn't make any sense. Anyway, down here in the south, playing the OKW is the blue-trunked forces of Romeo, but up in the north, it is not his Juliet. No, it is the USF, and it's going to be Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is bringing to the fray Airborne Company, as well as an Armor Company, and Infantry Company. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be that Armor Company, because looking at the other two commanders, I don't think very much of either one of them. And I'm sure people out there are completely disagreeing with me, but that's neither here nor there. You're definitely justified if you want to. But what is Romeo bringing to the fray? Well, what he got, of course, has got Scavenge Doctrine. He's also got Breakthrough Doctrine and Luftwaffe Ground Forces. So Fallschirmjägers might be a play on here. Frankly, it's a small enough map that that Jagdtiger actually is pretty powerful. Check out the fire lanes over here. This can reach almost to about half on its own. Now, not unsurprisingly, both players looking to connect their fuel. We do see the Americans moving over here to the east really super quickly and not getting that fuel point. They're stopping just short of it. I don't know what he was doing. Oh, no, Mr. Smith. Boo-boo, you were so close, and now you're not going to get it, and it makes me sad inside. Mr. Smith, in the meantime, though, is going to try to push forward some riflemen, maybe taking his munitions point here. I wonder if he knows that he screwed up the whole capping over here on the eastern side. For just another second more, he could have had a brand new fuel sector. But for the time being, he's going to be languishing without that. Romeo, in the meantime, has opened up the Kubelwagen and a couple of Volksgrenadiers as Mr. Smith moves into more of a meta opening. With the Kubelwagen all the way up to the west, maybe putting some pressure on his riflemen. And I say maybe because it's not 100% a great idea. But Halbe is an interesting map, mostly because it's such a really confined one. It's really, really compact. We are going to see Kubelwagen could have come in behind these riflemen and really chased them off here, but no, it looks like instead he's going to have his Volksgrenadiers pull back. Ah, okay, there we go. So Volksgrenadiers are coming on in. These guys have no cover, though, and Kubelwagen's putting some hurt on the riflemen. And Volksgrenadiers, in the meantime, are going to try to push back a little bit of the other riflemen coming on in. Yikes, they're doing some good work, actually, against those guys. Really, really hammering them. Super quick ambo coming up from Mr. Smith, which is kind of surprising and very much out of the ordinary. But these guys are not Tier 1 players. So, first of all, guys, if you have any comments about that, be very, very kind, because, you know what, we were all here at this point. And frankly, I started recording this map because it was Halbe, and how often do you get to see this map? I don't see it that often myself. Riflemen, in the meantime, coming up in a 2-to-1, outnumbered by 2.5-to-1. That number's only going to grow as the unfortunate riflemen get picked off. That's going to be happening pretty darn soon. And there they go. They're falling back. Maybe another model going to go down? I'd be surprised, really. Wow, shockingly, it's only just the one model dying. Alright, but in the meantime, you have rear echelons bravely trooping on in, and these guys really should get cut to shreds. Yeah, that received accuracy is kind of brutal. Volksgrenadiers are going to cut them to pieces. You can see these guys are going to get carved apart. Volksgrenadiers, in the meantime, pushing on up. And oh, jeez, Sturmpyos and the Volksgrenadiers at least taking off one more? No, shockingly enough, no. Instead, we're going to see Romeo's Volksgrenadiers. You've forgotten about them. You got to back up now. There they go. Rear echelons do go down, get dropped and dropped again. And so do the Germans at the same time. So losses on both sides of the map could have been completely avoidable. And Romeo has not decided to tech up just yet, which is probably not the best decision, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. We are going to see, finally though, a lieutenant coming on out from Mr. Smith. It's an interesting decision there. Look, guys, in the meantime, if I can put a shameless little plug in, I've been goofing around with a new game, Steel Division Normandy 44. The game comes out of beta on May 23rd with a single-player campaign and everything. But frankly, it's a super fun game. You really should check it out if you have not yet. I have one game up right now from the Allies' perspective. I'm going to post another one from the Axis perspective. And Romeo, in the meantime, he's going to go and take Breakthrough Doctrine, so he's got that whole kind of swift recapturing points, or at least neutralizing them. And the Panzer Fusiliers as well. But it doesn't seem to be too keen on using them, and I'm wondering if he's just looking to go super late game with the Jagdtiger. I can say that this Kubelwagen needs to back off. As good as he might be with that machine gun up top, he's not good enough to sit against 5 Garands all at once. Schumann, in the meantime, coming on the middle part of the map, and we're seeing a battle group headquarters coming on down. With the lieutenant coming in, though, too, he's got to be kind of circumspect about how this goes. Yeah, because the Kubelwagen is not going to be able to take on 2 squads of riflemen, and the Sturm Pioneers are also going to get whooped as the lieutenant gets much more aggressive. So interesting decisions all around. Germans still do hold both fuel points, at least, and will do so for another few seconds here, another 10 to 15 pretty easily, which continues to give them a pretty good lead. Pretty sure that Romeo is just trying to... what's term I'm looking for here? Maybe just rush up to that Schwerpanzer headquarters. I guess I can't blame him too much. Mr. Smith, in the meantime, going for the M8 Greyhound. And I don't know if Romeo is trying to then use his battlegroup headquarters to leverage into a half-track. No, actually, you know what? Mr. Smith drops the M8 and goes for his own AA half-track, and that thing can be quite beastly. But this mine is still the great leveler, if you know what I mean. Germans are being kind of lackadaisical about this territory holding, though. With the riflemen coming on in, basically taking whatever the heck they want to. They're going to pick up a munitions point for the American side of things, even as Panzer Fusiliers are being called on in, and Mr. Smith calling a 50 cal in. So, interesting decisions all around. Where's the Panzer Fusiliers? Here they come. The Gewehr 43s make them really adept at long-range combat. And of course, in the meantime, it gives them that good sight range bonus, which Panzer Fusiliers, light infantry, excellent long range. AA half-track is out there, which means that that Kubelwagen's days are probably numbered. If he dives on deep at all, that thing's going to just do crazy amounts of damage. And, oof, if Volksgrenadiers are not doing well either, they got to back off soon, or else they're going to get taken out. And geez, up in the north, Volksgrenadiers going for a deep cap, even as Kubelwagen picks up this strategic point to the west. Excuse me, east. Wow, I got this very dyslexic there for a second. Sturm Pioneers doing some good work. Might want to consider backing off, though. Down below 50% strength. And they have their own allies coming on in, especially these guys against negative cover. Ugh, it's not going to go well for them. Charging on in. They're going to take some losses, but moving close again. 2-1. The Germans are just doing crazy amounts of work until that AA half-track comes on in. Good lord, that thing's going to do some good damage. Yikes, but he's got what he wanted. He got that 1 point over here for a few seconds, even though it doesn't give him too much. Now the question is, will this thing manage to play Minesweeper with his life? I don't know. Probably not. But just kind of back up the entire way across, and no problems there. You know, I guess I think kind of an issue with that AA half-track. I can kind of... I can't say I'm 100% convinced that it looked like that in the war. I'm sure somebody out there can tell me differently, of course. And now, unfortunately, even more so for the Germans, they're rushing back through this. They should have been able to kind of come in, throw down a Panzerfaust, and that is not going to happen. Indeed, they're just begging for the squad to get wiped. These guys are probably going to go down. He's going to throw a Faust, and which means he's going to lose some veterancy. Yep, there it goes. The Kettenwerfer coming on in, but that's still going to be pretty slow, rotating up to the middle part of the battle space. And indeed, these guys right here are probably even going to get pinned if they're not careful. But okay, Lieutenant moving on in, taking this point. Germans sliding over with a bunch of squads, which means this Lieutenant is not long for this world or not long for this part of the battlefield. One or the other. Either way, he's got to make sure he gets out soon. And the answer to that is he's not going to be leaving soon enough. These Germans are going to come in behind him and just shred him. Okay, well, you know, they get away just barely for right now. Alrighty, what's that Kettenwerfer? Sliding on in. Could be ducking and diving if he really gets a good walloping out.
Grenades now available for action.
But the Americans have plenty of, let's call it low-tech options for the rainy day. They've got Pineapple to feed off to the Germans. They've got lots and lots of weapon rack opportunities. You see BARs coming on 2 rifle squads already. And indeed, the Germans are going to be vastly outgunned. Now to continue what I was saying before, so Steel Division, I'm going to be putting out another one of those videos. This is probably going to go up on Friday, so look for a Steel Division video on Saturday. At least that's the hope. Okay, meanwhile, I think this is the end for this AA half-track. No. Shockingly enough, no. Oh, jeez, okay. I thought it was going to be the end of him, I guess not. 50 cal is set up over here, watching out to the western side. And, yep, these folks Grenadiers can't get close enough. They're going to get butchered if they do. 473 to 353. What happened, a trip cap for the Germans, is turning into a trip cap for the, good old USF. And I'm a little bit confused right now that the Germans are not trying to take up into the Schwerpanzer headquarters. I don't know if Romeo's just not aware of he's got the resources for it, or what. But what I can say is that this Panzer Fusilier squad should be tossing a grenade right here, right now. Is that going to? Instead, nope. A rifle grenade, anti-tank rifle grenade. Doing exactly what it needs to do. So Pineapple comes out, and does probably more damage to the Americans than it does the Germans. Curious decision. Stern Pioneers, in the meantime, coming up against Riflemen, and at a range, they're not going to do very well. So the Romeo had a good position for a while, except now he's just kind of blowing it by not bringing in any kind of later game tech. And indeed, even this thing should not be doing as much damage as it is. Captain, in the meantime, coming out from Mr. Smith, as you can see right there. Kind of a surprise. And yikes, those guys didn't have anywhere good to go. 50 cal behind. Rifles to the front of me, machine guns to my back here. They are stuck in the middle with Stu. Rifleman, in the meantime, backing up as he realized that, that 3-to-1 odds against doesn't look as much fun as one is not on their side. 12 minutes in, we still do have a triple cap in favor of the Americans. And what do we got coming out for the Americans? We see a 57mm. Interesting decision, all things considered. And Germans picking up a little bit of fuel over here from the wreck of that Kubelwagen. So even in death, he serves the fatherland. There they go. Picking up that goodness right there. 5 fuel or 12 fuel. Storm Pioneers trying to go and pick up this VP. Might get chased off because I don't think this Rakettenwerfer is in position. No, he's not. It's good and all that he's backing away from it, but I think he's maybe giving that thing too much credit. Don't get me wrong, that thing's quite devastating by itself, but I think he's giving way too much credit to it. Over in the west, the Left 10 is going to come up straight against these Panzer Fusiliers. Grenade coming out, going to do some good damage. Yep, there goes a model, but he's taking that lieutenant down to half strength, below half strength, in fact. Rakettenwerfer, not with his whole... Okay. I'm not sure why it doesn't have a camouflage on it. Kind of obvious where he is right now. It's probably a bad idea there. You can consider the result of that AA half-track just continues to be a bugaboo. Or bugbear. Not entirely sure what the phrase really is. But this thing's going to get pushed back and backed off pretty darn easily, I imagine. Panzer Fusiliers, though, rushing right back into the fray. They are game, my friends. Even though a grenade comes out, it's going to do some great damage against the Rakettenwerfer. One more model goes down, and yep, he's going to decrew. That's a problem.
Rear echelon squad ready for action.
And rear echelons are getting called on in. I believe that mine finally got exploded by some unfortunate rifleman right there. Grenade coming out at all? No. No grenade. Those Gewehr 43s and the Panzer Fusiliers doing some good damage. No, dear God, these guys aren't going to pay attention in time. Taking 30% losses. But the 50 cal gets decrewed. Interesting. Very interesting. The question is, can he get close enough to pick it up? One after another is going to get just suppressed, not pinned, but suppressed. That might be enough. Germans not doing anything like tossing down a Faust or anything. Okay, he's finally getting close. There we go. That's one. Faust him, my friends. Oh, he gets taken out. Oh my gosh, it's unlucky. Oh, that's stupidly unlucky. But it looks like this 50 cal is going to get away. He's now captured 50 cal. There's a lot of Americans, though. It's a big red wave. The big red one, if you think about it. Doing some good work against them in the meantime. Now, where is that last one? Is he finally setting up? Because he needs to have some kind of fire point right in this area. He's really falling behind right now. 15 minutes in, he's really getting walloped. Mr. Smith, in the meantime, going for the armor company like I kind of anticipated. Where is he going with this, though? Because you can see he's starting to hit the tech buildings for Romeo. And wherefore art thou, army, Romeo? Well, it's back in base, that art, and it's getting destroyed. The poor medics are getting shot down like dogs. Those men are non-combatants, damn it. How can you do such a thing? Apparently it says easily.
M10 ready for action.
M10 can get called on in. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. Like, what's that green doober? Anybody out there knows what that green doober is? I'm not entirely sure. Locked, maybe? I'm not entirely... I think that's maybe for the big, awesome death gun. But the Germans are trying to sneak on in. Maybe throw a Faust down. One of them's going to get wrecked, though. He's got to back away. There we go. Finally falling back. Other one getting shredded as well. It just doesn't seem to matter who he is, where he's from. Finally, at least the 50 cal getting some work done, though, too. He could really be moving forward and using this bad boy to really do some armor-piercing damage. And there goes to the battle group headquarters. That's a big loss right there, that is. And there they go. Finally putting some rounds into the back of that half-track. Sort of. There we go. The Kettenwerfer somehow missing a shot, despite the fact that thing was standing there on the downslope of a hill.
The capture point is being overrun.
That sucks a little bit. 235 to 353, though, Romeo continues to fight back gamely, even though gamely may not be enough for him to stay in this gamely, if you know what I mean.
The cavalry has arrived.
Calling in some more Panzer Fusiliers in the meantime as well. I think he's trying to stay and hang on for that Jagdtiger. But the Jagdtiger is really only that good against vehicles. It's not supremely superlative at all against infantry. Something about using cannons to kill mosquitoes not going to be the best opportunity.
Overrunning one of our capture points.
But hey, Bulldozer Shermans have now been unlocked,
Sherman Dozer is ready for
and amusingly enough, one of those is coming on in. Just an interesting decision.
under attack.
Against the Germans right now with a very, very minuscule army. Don't really know what to do against that. They have one Kettenwerfer. And they're rebuilding for... Why are they rebuilding this bad boy? Okay, they're bringing another truck in, but that's going to be a really long time before they can really get anything out of it. In the meantime, this wave of Americans comes on over here to the eastern side. Now, where are the Germans? I would have called an MG-34 in a long time ago. And indeed, my friends, I think that might have been the only thing that could have salvaged this particular position. Another 50 cal coming on in, and the Americans are building up some really, really good veterancy. Now, where's that 50 cal from the Germans? Over to the west a little bit more. Zook here, Zook here? No, oh my gosh, that's what it was. So 2 Zooks on the rear echelons. And this 105mm Sherman is going to begin to shred all the German infantry, no matter where it is, what they've done.
We're losing a capture point.
Yikes. Yikes.
Sherman Dozers have reached the front line.
Okay, question is, he's calling a second one, and that's
Fly line
very
just got
surprising.
cut off.
Very surprising. 18 minutes in, though, the Americans are up almost 200 and what? 180, not 200, 180 tickets. And, yep, this for Kettenwerfer is going to get decrewed. There's going to be nothing you can do about it. Never mind. Yep, never mind. There we go. I hate being right sometimes. That's not true. I always love being right. Rifleman falling back, but the Kettenwerfer has now been recrewed. Still a pale shadow of his former glory. And now with 2 Bulldozer Shermans on the field, he can really kind of come up and just spam shells like crazy. Heck, he can start putting those whole, like, barrier things, too. How often do you see that? Almost never, right?
The capture point is under attack.
Well, in any case, Panzer Fusiliers make the best idea in a bad situation. Surprised these guys aren't already firing. They have to hold fire. Interesting decision. Not sure why it's not weapons free.
Losing a capture point.
Middle part of the field, we will see Germans and Americans holding it down. Pineapple comes on out and doesn't really do that much damage. But I imagine these Germans will. that drive in on close support, throwing in rounds like crazy. Really, all I have to do is just throw rounds at this Rakettenwerfer. That's all he's got to worry about. His opponent is still nowhere near.
Commanders, be advised. Troop
Yep.
level barrage now
Yep,
available.
he might even lose a Sherman, though. Which may be a kind of goofy thing happening, but hey, well, whatever. We're going to see armor-piercing rounds? No, he's just throwing rounds off the outside of that brave Sherman. Do it again, just keep targeting this bad boy. No, he's not going to, though. Interesting. We never really see Shermans that much. Indeed, you tend to see a lot of 105 Shermans, well, almost never. But the downfall of Romeo right now is the fact that he's not using any of his fuel at all, no matter where he is. It's not the highest tier of play. Again, like I told you guys, I picked this game up because it was on Halbe, for one, and also because I admit this game was called Dozer Spam. I was fascinated by that. But blob attacks like infantry like this, I can see putting two squads together, but, you know, getting this kind of blobbage, first of all, where is that 50 cal and why isn't it redeploying to just suppress the bejesus out of this? This is like 60% of his opponent's material right there. And these Strum Pioneers are going to get crushed, and these guys over here are getting crushed as well. Use a grenade, my friends. Heck, use an incendiary grenade, you have the munitions. And at long last,
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
a miniature burst from the 50 cal does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is suppresses 75% of the attacking infantry. Would have been better to happen a little bit sooner, but okay. It happened, That's the important thing, right? One bulldozer tank hogging all the kills. He's got 8 kills to his buddy's 0. And both of them seem to know exactly where that Rakettenwerfer is. And if you do know, why aren't you just sliding around to come around the outside? Just like Eminem preaches when he comes back. You know, guess who's back? It's the Shermans. The Shermans are back again. A third bulldozer Sherman has come out, my friends, and 90 tickets left for the Germans. They do have a 2-to-1 cap, although I imagine it's not going to last too much longer. Indeed, we're going to see a berm creating heavy cover for the Americans right in this area here. So AA half-track. Finally a second Raketten's on the field. But I don't think that's going to be enough. They're going to set up and get crushed in a second here. See, yeah, look. One salvo decrews. The poor Rakettenwerfer. This guy's going to go back down as well. You get one more shot off, maybe? Never mind, he's going to get another shell off. So, and then we have that awful cycle where guns get decrewed and recrewed with a rapidity that would just shock a TV executive. You know how quickly shows go on and off the air, if you know what I mean. Surprisingly enough, we do have a Volksgrenadier squad that's got himself full veterancy. And indeed, the almost amusing and sad thing is that if he had not called that Schwerpanzer headquarters in, he might have been close enough to pick up this Jagdtiger, but as of right now, I don't know if he's got anything left to do it. See, again, rounds coming out, but these guys are going to decrew before too much longer. See, he's turning over with the rapidity and the kind of finality of a headsman's axe. Where's that third one? He's getting repaired right now, okay. This guy right now, he's just taking rounds like crazy from the Schwerpanzer headquarters. That's not a light gun either, but it doesn't bother him at all. And indeed, I don't think the Germans can do anything about this. Romeo, it seems to be flabbergasted. He could have been calling in infantry and vehicles a long time ago, but he's not. A spiteful incendiary grenade coming on out and doing some burning damage, but he's got nothing left. Indeed, he's got one full squad of mail-in infantry. Other than that, nope, he just calls it quits. So in 24 minutes and 15 seconds, a super quick game, Mr. Smith takes the W, a final score of 88-329. Just really not putting on a clinic, but the AA half-track having an inordinate amount of influence over the course of this game. 24 kills on that bad boy. Well played to him, though, after all. Kind of helped out by Romeo's kind of mishandling his own troops, unfortunately. But a win is a win, so let's not take that away from him. In the meantime, folks, if you have a game you want me to check out, please email me at connellworkgaming@gmail.com. If you have a game or if you have an idea or material you'd like to see on this channel, let me know as well. I am more than willing to consider collaborations, things like that. However, for the time being, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys all next time. This is ConnellWorks signing off. Have a great day, everybody.